Hello everybody and welcome back to Pokemon 3D. The last episode we defeated the Elite Four. Why is my controller not working? That is because I don't know what the button ups are. Remember when in Mario my controller was like very broken? I tried to fix that with glue and now it seems even more broken. So I really do need a new controller. Luckily, we don't need that for this right now, right here. We are back in New Bark Town. We do need to go to Kanto, and I don't know how. So, probably like this. I did look up the levels for the gym leaders in Kanto, and all of them, except for Blue, are definitely beatable with my current team, because they're mostly lower. Maybe not. I thought it was about level 50, but maybe I'm a little bit lower level. Anyway, most of the gym leaders are about the same level or lower as Lance's Pokemon were. So it should be no problem. Should be. Then, of course, you have Blue, which is the last gym leader, which you can't even take on before taking out all the other gym leaders in Kanto. And he has Pokemon near the level 60s, at which point I might have to do some grinding, but that is going to be probably the recording session where I do Blue and Red both in one recording session. So I'll grind my team up to be ready for Red, and I'll probably just like end up stomping Blue as a result of that, but otherwise I have to do 2 grinding sessions separately, and it's just like not very convenient for me. So we need to leave with the Azazan, but I don't know where the Azazan leaves from. I'd assume all of Mine City because water, but honestly don't know. Probably should have read the dialogue there. Probably would have helped quite a lot. Surely it's this is the Azazan, right? Has to be. I don't know what we need to do on the Azazan. I think we might just need to go to like our room on the Azazan. How many times can you say Azazan in one video? We're going to find the fuck out. And that should be good enough? I don't know. I've also got like half a cup of tea left, which I didn't think like finishing before starting the video would be good at it. So we're gonna finish it during the video. There's a side quest, I remember now. My granddaughter is missing. I don't know why I suddenly decided to read dialogue, especially out loud. I fucking have no clue. It's been about 2 weeks since I last recorded. I probably should mention that. Last week, not like last week for me. For you guys, is like a month ago. Because as of me recording this, the most recent episode that went up was the most recent video that went up for me as of recording this was the Dry Bowser episode of Super Mario Bros. DS. So that should give you... Fuck off. So that should give you an indication as to when this is being recorded. So I had a very busy week. Why are you just sitting here? Okay. I had a very busy week with like work-related stuff, and man, I've got complaints and like stuff to ramble about for years. It feels like, because I had a not very fun client to work with. Still working with, by the way, because they just won't fucking let go. So that took up like literally all my time. Are you his buddy? Yeah, you are, because I need to battle you. So that took up literally all my time that week. I had to do normal work and then that work, which if I'm going to like count how much money I get for it and how much time, I'm like, it's pretty much slavery at this point. So that wasn't very fun, but it took up literally like full days. I started at like 9:30, 10 a.m. and I finished at like 8 p.m. Right? So that took up quite a lot of my time. And then over the weekend, I wasn't home. You might have noticed there weren't any streams. Wait a second. There wasn't a second stream that week. No, there weren't any streams that week altogether because I was busy. With work, right? Yeah, so you might have noticed there weren't any streams during that week, and then today is Friday, the week after that. So I've been very busy this week as well, and I've had some time to record some videos and do one Plants vs Zombie stream, but I haven't gotten around to recording Pokemon again until this very moment right now, which actually I could just tell you the date, right? I mean, it's Friday the 13th, March. This is probably going up like, I think this is going up the 23rd of March, so it's 10 days ahead. I was like 3 weeks ahead, so I lost quite a bit of buffer. I'm planning to record at least 2 videos today, potentially 3, especially since I don't have to do any grinding between all the gyms. I can just do like this and then maybe even do the Lieutenant Surge gym this episode. Let's go into Tien. And then do 2 or 3 more gyms, potentially catch some Pokemon in the wild. And then do some more gyms, and that probably I'll be able to do like most of the gyms in Kanto within this recording session, which would be insane. And then do some grinding and finish up this generation, which it's probably not going to take very long to finish up Kanto, because again, that's going to be a speedrun, then we move into Gen 3, which I already got the ROM for. It's going to be a fun ROM, because as I said, it's going to be made a little bit more difficult. I had a little bit of help, but all the gym leaders, I think, and all the rival fights have been made more difficult with 6 Pokemon, all at max IVs, and I think the Elite Four has competitive movesets. I'm not entirely sure what kind of difficulty is applied where, but I know there's like a lot more difficulty applied to a lot of the battles, at least the major battles of Gen 3. And there should be like a couple of little fun surprises in it for me as well. I only downloaded the ROM, I haven't looked around with it, we're going to experience that together. So I'm expecting a lot more casualties in Gen 3, and if that ends up being fun, we might like look into being able to do that for Gen 4 as well, or Gen 5, and then from Gen 6 onwards, the randomization patch does give the option for that to be like patched in automatically. Right now I just randomized the Pokemon and then I had the ROM edited to be made more difficult, which very thankful that there's people that want to do that, because otherwise I'd have to do it myself and I would know what I'm getting myself into, which would kind of take like the fun out of it, right? So that's going to be Gen 3. I'd say that's quite a while from now, but it probably isn't. It's probably going to be like next week, because this week is going to be 3 episodes, then next week there's going to be 3 episodes as well. I'm thinking maybe like next Friday might be the start of Gen 3. Don't want the tea to get cold. Oh my god, there's all the sugar in this. You know, I don't think I stirred quite well, because it started fairly bitter, because it was fairly strong tea. And then towards the bottom there was very fucking sweet. That's at Vulpix, didn't it? I was gonna say, don't I have a water type? I do. As a matter of fact, I've got Deus, which that is a water type, right? I haven't, again, I haven't played this game in 2 weeks, so I need to get back into it a little bit. So if anything is going to die in Kanto, it might be against Red, or it's going to be in this episode. Because I don't see any other way of anything dying. Again, look at this Vulpix, it's level 30 for fuck's sake. It's kind of underwhelming. The level curve in Pokemon Crystal is all over the fucking place. Emerald is going to just, like, by default be more difficult. That was not the person we had to battle. Okay. It's going to be more difficult because it actually has, like, a level curve, which I can't take full advantage of, like, low levels always, like I can here. Is this where the granddaughter is? Yes, it is. This game is just very, very easy. The first 2 generations are definitely, in my opinion, the easiest to nuzlocke. From generation 3 onwards, it gets a little bit more difficult. And that's what we're about to enter. And I also am doing a more difficult version of Gen 3. So that should be fun. I'm also thinking, could I randomize, like, that is something to look into. Could you randomize? No, you couldn't. No, never mind, you couldn't. Stupid. I'm going to finish my thought though, because otherwise you don't know what I'm talking about. I'm thinking like, Renegade Platinum, right? The more difficult version of Pokemon Platinum. Could you randomize that? But the entire thing there is that it's manually added it to be more difficult. If you're going to randomize that, it just becomes Pokemon Platinum again. Maybe like the IVs would be still the same, and maybe some hold items would still be the same. But other than that, like the movesets and the like more difficult teams, they would all be randomized, so you couldn't do that. So you do need to manually make it more difficult. Okay, we are now in Kanto. As I said, we're going to go straight into the first gym. Are we though? Are we though? We've got all the time in the world. We can probably do this gym and that Misty's gym, and that means we can go get the Suicune encounter as well. Let's see, we've got 17 Great Balls, 17 Ultra Balls, and 1 Master Ball. Let's actually try to... Oh my god, there's a Snorlax here, isn't there? Yeah, I can't get past that, yeah. I forgot about that. There is a little bit... So maybe we won't be able to do this in like 3 episodes? Maybe? Don't you like trade me your matchup, usually? I think... No... is that in yellow? No, that's only yellow. In yellow you get the Squirtle here, don't you? I don't remember. Let's heal up and see if we can get our first Kanto Pokemon. I'm going to capture Pokemon in Kanto, even though I already have a lot of Pokemon. Because it's just like that's the rules. They are different routes from the 1 and Gen 2. They have different catch lists because they're differently randomized. And even within the original games, they have different catch lists. So I'm going to count them as new routes. And as such, our first encounter is going to be a Lickitung. We're not going to use it until it's in Gen 4 and can become a Licky. Also, it's level 13, so I can't damage it. This is going to be fun. I might be able to put it to sleep, though. Do I still have sleep powder on Spaghetti? You don't have a high catch rate, do you? Oh my... That did no damage! Literally no damage. Damage? And of course it did no damage. It's a Pokeball. No chance that I'm going to get this. I would very much like to have a Wi-Fi again. If you don't know, Wi-Fi was my Licky in the Pokemon Black 2 randomizer nuzlocke I did, I think? Or was it Black 1? I don't know. The other day on Facebook, I saw a memory from 7 years ago from my first Pokemon Black randomizer nuzlocke. The layout I made for that, and it was horrendous. It was very, very ugly. That's not the one that I remember so vividly, though. The Pokemon Black and Black 2 randomizer nuzlocks, I remember vividly, which is, like, in my opinion, the highlight. Maybe like the most recent version of Pokemon through the years before this one is the actual highlight. But as far as like my memories of series I've done go, those 2 series definitely are like the highlight of the channel. Those are the Pokemon I remember the best. I mean, I know Wi-Fi, I know Olaf, I know... Did I have Kvot? I think I had Kvot in that. Yeah, that must have been Black, because... Yeah, that must have been Black. Might have been Black too. I don't know. I had so many Pokemon. I edited the death montage for one of those series to like a cover of Let It Go, and I still think that is edited like not horribly. At least for the time, right? For the time at my skill level back then. I don't think it was too bad. Can you please stay in the fucking ball? Please. Please stay in the ball. I want to be your friend. You're going to be stuck in the... You're going to be stuck in the box until at least Gen 4. Because, again, without an evolution, you're not that useful. But honestly, I wouldn't mind having a Licky as a possibility. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to use a couple more Ultra Balls. You know what? I'm going to use a Great Ball because that would just be my luck. You're going to stay in this Great Ball. I just know you are. I just know it. You're going to stay. Or not. Or not. I thought I was like, maybe some mind games. Wait a second, you woke up? Oh, wait a second, sleep isn't in... Of course you woke up. For some reason I thought sleep wouldn't like end. Okay, so we're going to use poison now and... Okay, you've got a timer. You've got a timer. If you don't stay, you die. You stayed. There we go. Was it a little bit anticlimactic? Yeah. Was I annoyed? Yeah. So, that's the reasoning there. So yeah, obviously this is going to be Wi-Fi, because if you don't understand the name, Licky Licky has like a Wi-Fi signal on his belly. It's not a very original name. I feel like everybody would call their Pokemon Wi-Fi. The Licky Licky. Lickitung itself doesn't have that, but obviously I don't care about Lickitung. I only care about it once it can become a Licky Licky, so don't expect me to use Lickitung in Emerald if I don't have to. Which, spoiler, I don't have to. Because, have you seen my goddamn box? It's going to be so much work to transfer those all to Gen 3. Holy fuck. Okay, so let's go beat up Lieutenant Surge now. This tree can be cut. Do you want to use cut? No, I could have served around it. Wait a second. This is a new encounter. Is there any surfing encounters here, or do I need to use my fishing rod for this? There is fishing or surfing encounters, and our encounter for this is going to be a... Already have you. That was... Let's try again. Our encounter for Vermilion City. I was going to say Cerulean for some reason. Our encounter for Vermilion City is going to be a fishing encounter, because I can probably only run into Arbok through surfing. Okay, so let's go key items. Do I not have a fishing rod? I do not have a fishing rod? Wait, what? Did I never get a fishing rod? Huh. Okay, so let's try one more encounter and then we just don't get an encounter for Vermilion City, I suppose. We've got plenty of encounters. Yeah, it's only Arboks, which are, by the way, much higher level than the Lickitung I just faced. What's up with that? They didn't change this puzzle. I forgot. Oh, but it did make it so that you can't actually get through without defeating at least one trainer. Do you actually need to do the puzzle? I forget. You might not need to do the puzzle in Gen 2. You might not need to do the puzzle, actually. That would be good. Because it's probably the worst... Oh, Quilava. It's not the worst Quilava. Quilava is nice. It's probably the worst gym puzzle of all time. And it's going to be always. Because it's literally just RNG. And that's just stupid. Why do I have Dream Eater but nothing to put things to sleep on Gengar? That doesn't seem like a good idea. I mean, I do have Sleep Powder on Spaghetti. But that will require me to switch out, waste a turn, and then use Dream Eater. Doesn't seem very like useful. I probably should put something to put Sorry, I had a little bit of like a brain short-circuiting there. That looks off in colors. I'm not saying that it's a shiny Chikorita, but it's just like Chikorita. At least modern Chikorita is a lot more vibrant. This one is like a little bit of like baby diarrhea color. I'm very sorry for conjuring that image in your mind. Okay, so gentlemen, Gregory was defeated. Let's see if we do need to do the puzzle. I hope we do not. It seems like we don't. Okay, so Surge, let's get our first Kanto gym battle. Also, probably should mention the fact that, yeah, there is a new like layout for Kanto specifically, because we've got new badges, which I need to get. I don't know if I'm going to do anything with like the colors. I don't think I will, honestly, because it's still Crystal and still like the Suicune still going to be there. There's probably literally only the new badges. Okay. Level 44. That is slightly scary. Let's see what a Shadow Ball can do against you. I've been thinking, by the way, about changing the battle style to set rather than being able to switch between Pokemon. That would also make it a much more difficult challenge. I'm not going to do that halfway through this generation. What we're going to do is we're going to do the more difficult Gen 3. If I still don't have any issues with more difficult Gen 3, in Gen 4 we're going to switch to a set battle style and make the run more difficult. We're going to slowly but surely ramp up the difficulty until we're at a point where we're at roughly like a good place where we're losing as many Pokemon as we're gaining roughly. A little bit more gaining maybe, but not that much. Because at this point we're gaining so many more Pokemon than we're losing, it's insane. But I don't want to ramp up all the way right away and then have to backpedal. So, because that would just be like kind of sucky. So we're going to increase the difficulty bit by bit, especially since we're going to get a bigger roster of Pokemon each generation anyway, in the backup. Theoretically speaking, anyway. So we have a little bit more to work with to combat more difficult situations. So that is the reason that we're going to add one more difficulty step in the next generation. And then if that goes well, one more difficulty step after that. And then I don't know what will make it even more difficult in Gen 5. I suppose if even Gen 4 with a set battle style doesn't prove challenging enough, I'm going back to the we can't switch out Pokemon unless they die rule. Which, that is mostly the reason I've lost most of the series up until starting through the years, where I dropped that rule again. But I assume that a more difficult, the more difficult ROM together with a set battle style is going to prove difficult enough as it is. So probably that is not going to be a required rule. And then from Gen 6 and 7, there's literally nothing that could make it more difficult at that point, I don't think. I really don't think there is. I think if you, well, only using healing items, or, I mean, only using Pokemon Centers and not being able to use healing items inside battle, and then not being able to use healing items at all, only being allowed to use so many, but I don't like those type of rules. I do like being on a set battle style. To a certain extent, you have a Sunkern as your last Pokemon, that's pathetic. To a certain extent, I think that is fun. But anything like beyond that, I don't know. I mean, if you really do need to make it more difficult even for yourself than that, I guess that is the next logical step. Prevent you from like heal spamming. But generally that is not even needed anyway. If you're like healing a lot, you're probably doing something wrong anyway. Because I on average like heal probably once every episode, maybe 2 episodes. I heal at Pokemon Centers. And I'm not losing any Pokemon at the moment. So that probably wouldn't even impact me that much. But we got our first badge and we still have 5 minutes left to go. So we can go to Cerulean City. We're not going to take on Misty today, but we can probably like get 1 or 2 more encounters to go through today. Or maybe we'll have some trainer battles actually. I don't know if there's any trainers. Wait, the underground doesn't work? Or isn't there? I mean, it would work, but it's not there. For some reason, okay. For some reason I thought that was a shiny Squirtle and I have no idea why. Do I have a shiny Squirtle? I don't even have a shiny... I have a shiny Squirtle! That's the thing shiny Gyarados turned into, isn't it? I have a shiny Squirtle. Okay, so we have Saffron City. Which means we have a lot of opportunities to catch more Pokemon if we wanted to. Is the dojo still here? Can I still get a Hitmon? That probably would be a Tyrogue, right? I don't need a focus band. It probably would be a Tyrogue, I assume. Maybe not. So let's go to Cerulean City, because that is the next logical step for me, I think. And from there, we can't go back to Pewter City yet, but that's not that big of a deal. Where do we go from there? I guess from there we go back to Saffron. Then to Saladin. And then loop around. I guess that is the most logical. Oh, we can't even do the gym yet here, can we? Oh yeah, we can. No, never mind. We can do the gym, but we do need to pick up the item that is not yet there. I forgot. The item is only there after you go to the power plant in the first place. There is a side quest there which you need to do to get the radio station on Lavender Town working again. Then you can use the Poke Flute frequency to wake up the Snorlax and go to Pewter City. But you don't even need that, do you? You don't even need that because you can't go to Pewter City from the south, I think. Because from Saffron City you can go through the Seafam Islands, Cinnabar, Palatown. That should be possible. You might not even need that. Oh, but there's also probably still a Snorlax. Do we have a Porygon? We have a Porygon. We definitely have a Porygon. We have Flog. We got Flog and did I say Saffron City before? I mean the one to the very south. We definitely have one of you already. This is the issue with having a lot of Pokemon in the box, is you're going to run into a lot of dupes claws. And at a certain point I'm just going to call it quits here. And can we go into Cerulean Cave? Can we? Okay, I'm going to use the speed button here. I don't think we have an Omastar yet. I mean, we're going to in a moment here. I mean, Omastar is a legendary Pokemon, right? Lord Helix? Twitch Plays Pokemon? That's been so long. Twitch Plays Pokemon, when was that? That's like probably 5 or 6 years ago at this point? Probably. It definitely like was happening when I was like doing a lot of YouTube as it is. And that must have been like 3 years ago because I was away for about 3 years, 4 years, something like that. So just stay in the goddamn ball, please. Not that difficult. Okay, I don't know why I didn't put you to sleep actually. You're staying for 3 wiggles every single time, so putting you to sleep probably should ensure me that you... I'm sorry for using the speed button, especially in like Gen 1 and 2 games. It makes a very annoying sound. You fuckhead! Don't use the Master Ball. We're gonna do the same thing again. We're going to Poison Powder you this time. Let's cut. Okay, so now you stay in the Great Wall, right? You stay. You're not staying? You can either stay or die. Those are the 2 options for you, and you chose dying. Honestly, I didn't need another goddamn water type as it is anyway, so I'm not that upset. How is Spaghetti doing HP-wise? Totally fine. Does Nugget Bridge still have the fuck ton of trainers on it that it used to? Or is that not a thing anymore? It seems like that's not a thing anymore. That's very good, because... Wait a second, this is route... That's technically a different route! Huh, what do you know? We can catch even more Pokemon than I thought. We need... Almost made a mistake there. We need more Ultra Balls. But we might want to do that next episode because we're about at the 30-minute mark. So we're going to do that next episode. Until then, I've been Vlogger. You've been awesome. As always, bye.